we're the home of Dr. Keith Norris. And Dr. Norris, please raise your hand again. As I mentioned earlier, Dr. Norris is the Executive Vice President for Research and Health Affairs at Charles R. Drew University. He is a principal investigator on numerous grants from the National Institutes of Health and has been responsible for bringing more than $150 million in research funding to our campus. $150 times a million to our campus. And I should say greater than, because it's ongoing. In 2011, Dr. Norris received the Meritorious Achievement Award at the National Medical Association's Annual Convention and Scientific Assembly. Thank you very much, Dr. Norris, for everything you've done for this university. We're also home to Dr. Jay Budgama, Chief Division of Cancer Research and Training, Director of the Center to Eliminate Health Disparities, and Associate Vice President for Research and Health Affairs. Dr. Budgama. We are also home to Dr. Ted Freeman. I don't know if Dr. Freeman is here with us this morning. Dr. Freeman? Okay. Dr. Freeman chairs our Department of Internal Medicine and serves as the Chief of the Division of Endocrinology, Metabolism, and Molecular Medicine, and is an endowed professor of cardiometabolic medicine here at the university. And finally, we are home to Professor Cynthia Davis. Professor Davis, are you here? Okay. No, Professor Davis? Professor Davis has spent nearly 3 decades developing HIV/AIDS education risk testing programs that target at-risk communities of color here in South Los Angeles and elsewhere. She developed LA's first mobile HIV testing program and has been recently recognized by the Magic Johnson Foundation, Kaiser Permanente, and Shell Oil Company for her career efforts in combating this illness. She received the Magic Johnson Foundation's 2nd annual Magic Johnson World AIDS Day Award last year for her work, and continues to work to eliminate the scourge of HIV/AIDS from this and other communities. And finally, Charles R. Drew University is home to Dr. Suzanne Porches Reese. Dr. Reese, please stand and be acknowledged. Dr. Porches Reese is already a recognized expert on the subject of muscle disease and muscle wasting. Just this year, she was awarded a patent that will help researchers study the effects of myostatin, a protein that works with muscles and is identified with the loss of muscle mass. Dr. Porches Reese's discovery will be essential to combating diseases such as heart failure, cancer, and the process of aging that is typified by muscle weakness. Professor Suzanne Porches Reese, Cynthia Davis, Ted Freeman, Jay Budgama, and Keith Norris are just 5 examples of the extraordinarily committed faculty we have here at the university. They would be welcomed at any health profession school in the world, and they chose to be here at CDU. We want to thank them all for their contributions to the university. Thank you very much, professors. Our CDU staff is also very impressive. We've distributed 4 Staff Member of the Month awards this year, and I just want to name the recipients and ask them to be recognized. The first, Mr. Sergio Hernandez. Is Sergio here, Mr. Hernandez? You received our first award. Where are you? There you are, okay. Thank you, Sergio. Secondly, Ms. Tanya King, the second recipient of our Staff Member of the Month award. Tanya, where are you?
Right here.
Okay, there you are. Our third award went to Ms. Claudia Corletto. Claudia, please stand up. From our public health program. And then our 4th award is for Mr. David Ramos from our library and IT services. David. I want to note that David's award was the first where the nomination was received by our student body in appreciation for his support of their work. Finally, I want to say that we are doubly proud of Dr. Porches Reese because she's not just a faculty success story, she's also an alumni success story. Dr. Porcius Reese is a member of our class of 2007, during which she received a master's degree in clinical research sciences. Thank you and congratulations. Our distinguished list of alumni is too long for me to mention all our heroes and celebrate their legacies, but there are a few that deserve special recognition. Alumni like Dr. Tumani Rucker-Coker. I believe Dr. Rucker-Coker is here. Please stand up if you're here. Dr. Rucker-Coker. Dr. Coker is an assistant professor of pediatrics at UCLA and is also a natural scientist with the RAND Corporation, as well as a health services researcher at the UCLA RAND Prevention Research Center. In 2011, she was awarded the Association of American Medical Colleges Herbert W. Nickens Faculty Fellowship Award, an outstanding recognition of an extremely productive career. Moving on down our list, we have Dr. Keith Wilson, class of 1981, who was presented with the 2012 Corporate Innovation Award by the National Medical Fellowships. Dr. Glenville Marsh, class of 1995 and CEO of March Vision Care Incorporated. And finally, most recently, only an alumnus for 6 months or 4 months, Dr. Manuel Campa. Is Dr. Campa here? Dr. Campa? If Dr. Campa is not here, it's because he is taking care of patients at Harvard-UCLA Medical Center, where he is one of our 2012 graduates from the College of Medicine who went into family medicine. 33% of that class went to family medicine, I believe one of the highest percentages in the United States. Our alumni have left their mark not only in Los Angeles, but also overseas, where Captain Rodrigo Mabasa, class of 2007, just returned from a tour of duty in the Mideast. And then finally, I also want to recognize our current students. I want to tell you in particular about one student, Yamanda Mack. Yamanda is currently a fourth-year medical student in the Drew UCLA Medical Education Program. She grew up in Compton. When she was 14, her father unfortunately passed away from colon cancer, and Yamanda's mother suddenly became a single parent with 3 children to support. Yamanda was inspired by the sacrifices made by her mother, who instilled the belief that Yamanda could achieve her goals by working tirelessly and diligently. These goals included a desire to pursue a career in medicine, and Yamanda enrolled in the King Drew Magnet High School, our next-door neighbor, right next door, a Magnet High School of Medicine and Science, where she participated in a research project that investigated colon cancer. Yamanda then became the first member of her family to attend a university majoring in psychobiology at UCLA. She's continued, while a student at Drew, to give back to the Compton-Willowbrook community during her time here, helping to organize a student-run health fair at one of our local churches and taking a leadership role in Project Santa Claus, the annual CDU Christmas toy drive for community children. Yamanda is also an organizer and active participant in the Partnership for Progress program, a mentoring project at the King Drew Magnet High School. The P4P program is an outstanding mentoring program because our medical students are working to remove a key obstacle, competitive SAT scores, that prevents students in this community from entering college. Yamanda will graduate in just a few months. She's planning on doing her residency in psychiatry and aspires to return to South Los Angeles to practice in the community where she stood up. Yamanda Mack and so many of our students have similar stories. They bring life to our mission each and every day. And at this point in time, I'd like to ask Yamanda Mack to also stand up and be recognized. Yamanda? But we certainly appreciate her contributions. Well, I've referred to our mission several times this morning. That's no accident. We are, after all, a health professions university that was founded on the principle that communities like this one, indeed every community in this nation, deserve access to quality health care and excellent, compassionate health professionals. This is why this year we created the President's Community Advisory Council to provide a forum for collaborative dialogue with our community and for the community to reconnect with our university. The Advisory Council will be a standing committee of our office, the President's office, and will focus on communication with our neighbors, community involvement, educational advancement, development, and fundraising. This underscores a core belief of mine that our university exists in order to serve the community from which it has sprung Indeed, we must be an integral part of this community. It is very much part of our future. I want to mention our 5 points of our strategic planning process as we move on throughout the morning. First and most importantly is education. We remain committed to providing the highest possible education for students in each and every one of our programs. We are creating a sustainable tuition-based education model that will allow the university to survive, and not just survive, but thrive as we move forward into the future. I want to note I had to modify my presentation this morning. At first I was going to say that we started this academic year with 662 students, but that number is different, has just been modified. Our current enrollment here at the university is 707 students, matriculated students. I believe this may be the highest number of matriculants we've ever had at the university. Indeed, it's a 31% increase from the number of enrollees that we had this time last year. We have 123 students enrolled in the College of Medicine, 229 in the College of Science and Health, and 355 in the Mervyn M. Dymely School of Nursing. I think everyone can turn around and see our nursing students. They're wearing their white uniforms in the back there. Congratulations. You know, we have begun an unprecedented campaign to engage our alumni and to increase scholarship support for our students. Beginning this is a $250,000 matching grant opportunity from the California Endowment to create the Lillian Harkless Mobley Presidential Endowed Scholarship Fund. Many of you know that Mrs. Mobley's commitment to health service, education, access to education, and economic opportunities for South Los Angeles, and her deeds, along with those of other distinguished women, Murray Henry, Nola Carter, Kathy Green, Johnny Tillman, and Edna Alawine, have paved the way for the university we know today. Many of those women are not with us today, but their contributions will be forever recognized at Charles R. J. University, and they certainly deserve a round of applause. And as I leave you today, this morning, I want to thank you very much for enduring the weather. It's getting a little bit warmer, but it's not as warm as it will be in about an hour. But before you go, I want to ask the chair of our Board of Trustees, Mr. Jim Lott, to approach the podium and provide a few words of closure. Again, great to see everyone. Thank you for being here, and thank you for everything you do for the university.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, isn't that something? Now you see why we picked him, right? Yeah, you got it. You got it. Who here doesn't understand? Okay? He's the man. One commercial message before I let you go, and again, thank you all for coming. But we have a very, very, very important election coming up next month. And I'm not talking about what you might think I would be talking about, although I'm very interested, or we're very interested in the presidential election. That's not what I'm talking about. The state of California is in a horrible, horrible budget mess. Okay? We have taken out of our budget in California $50 billion over the last 5 years. The budget that the legislature and the governor approved this year has a $4 billion deficit built in already. So we're $4 billion in the hole. If Proposition 30, which is on the ballot, does not pass, that will increase to about 11 to 12 billion dollars. That's on a base of about 85 billion, so you can see the significance of that. The cuts that we have endured have been horrible for people who are very reliant on programs like Medi-Cal and other programs that help folks get health care and access to health care. And they would be extremely at risk, again, if we have to take and find another $12 billion. Also, schools will be tremendously negatively impacted. All the way from elementary school through the colleges, through the universities. We have the potential of being negatively impacted, because some of the funding that we get, that we rely on in our budget, about $9 million, $10 million, comes to us as a result of the legislation that Dr. Carlisle mentioned in his presentation. And that would be, or some part of that, if not all of that, would be at risk. So for all sorts of reasons, I implore you to, if you are qualified and are registered to vote, please don't miss this opportunity. We need it for a whole lot of reasons, but not the least of which the dire circumstances we're in California at this particular point in time. So please get all of your friends and relatives to vote. And if they don't want to go out and vote, you go out and vote for them. No, I'm sorry, that's a federal offense. But do whatever you can to get your family and friends, everyone out to vote. Anyway, with that, I'm going to close down my commercial message. And thank you all again for coming. Be safe, be healthy, and have the rest of a good day.